I'm not encouraging cocaine, guys. The song is. Turn it down a little bit. Give a few minutes before we start things up. Not like I anticipate like an overflux of people jumping in. I'm not saying that, but that's not why I do what I do. I do it because I can and I enjoy it. I don't have an angle. No angle. No angle. Hope everybody's week's going good so far. It's Wednesday, third Monday of the week, right? If that's how you see it, then it is, right? I wish that I had at least like one person watching to tell me if this glare from the glasses drives you as crazy as it drives me. I don't know. Right now, I'm just talking. Just free talk here for a minute. See if anybody joins up, wants to tune in. I don't generally get a lot of watchers, but that's all right. That's all right. That's all good. Let me open up my soda because I'm not in a hurry. It's not a race. I'm a Coca-Cola guy. Zero, no sugar. I'm not a sugar guy, believe it or not, because I'm so sweet enough already. And I know you got to trim this. I don't know, trim it, cut it off, whatever. It just goes right back. I need to cut this shit too. Shit, see, it's all coming back now. That's not a bad sign though, you know. Full head of hair. You don't let the shit fool you here. I got a regular face. I don't have a big giant round face. I don't know why that shit looks like that. Maybe it is the hair. I don't know. Mm, All right. Well, let's get started, everybody. Welcome. Thank you for being here with us, even though there's nobody here but me, and it's all good. That's okay. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. We had a malfunction on the music side. I like the music because music is good to have in the background. As long as you don't have to talk over it and it's not too loud and overwhelming, it's all right. But once again, thank you everybody for tuning in, and I encourage you like, subscribe, share. What I say is a little bit different from what all these other cats got and what they talk about. I talk about what I talk about, and before I go any further, what I talk about is for entertainment, and I suppose you could say educational purposes only. So I don't encourage gambling. I don't encourage you to go out and buy shit. I don't. I'm just, I'm kind of just telling you things that I do, and I don't have anything better to do at the moment other than I can make a whole show about complaining, but I don't know how many people want to watch that shit. So sports cards, that's what we're doing. That's what I'm talking about here. But I got my own twist on things. Sometimes I use a little bit of foul language if you're new to the channel. Sometimes I don't. Well, it just depends. So if you're sensitive like that, you get triggered easy. Or I guess that's a new word, triggered. And I don't know what to tell you because I'm not going to do anything to accommodate differently for you than I would for my own self. It's not made for kids. I don't have any kids around here with me right now. Everybody's in bed like they're supposed to be. Got school tomorrow, so I can say whatever I want to say, do what I want to do. But let's start this week off with news in the NFL. Trade deadline came and went. Major splashes. 49ers got Chase Young. I don't know how Riverboat Ron in Washington really feels about that, but that was an interesting one. Beside that, I mean, nothing to really write home about, nothing too crazy. Josh McDaniel and Ziegler got fired from the Las Vegas, the Raiders organization. It's typical Raiders shit, nothing new. Josh Dobbs got traded from the Cardinals over to the Vikings. What else? I think of Desmond Ritter. I think of Jeff Wilson in that trade he made. Desmond Ritter going to be sitting on the bench this week when they play Minnesota in place of Tyler Heineke, which is actually a quality quarterback. So it ought to be an interesting game to say the least. But yeah, that's funny stuff. But as far as anything else, the Chiefs, they didn't really do a whole lot at all. They had a couple signings, but nothing trade wise. They didn't do anything to blow the roof off the joint by any means, but I didn't expect them to either. Their philosophy is different than what a lot of the teams' philosophy is, so it's up to what Andy Reid and what Veach decide to do, and I'm sure there's other input from certain individuals, obviously, but those guys are calling the shots. They got a couple rings to prove that they know what they're doing, what they're talking about, so you have to trust them and trust the system. While we're still talking about NFL, we talked about last week, you know, for the last 3 weeks, I've been picking games. First 2 weeks, we got 10, 9 wins apiece. So there was 15 games. So yeah, or there was 13 games. Either way it goes, we got an average. This last week, we got 11 games out of the possible 16. So we pick more winners than we do losers, and just takes a little bit of research, and maybe it does take some luck. And but I like looking at stats and reading numbers and seeing what I think is going to happen, seeing what on paper if it translates to a win in real life. My criticisms of last week's games, to go over them, the only two that I really have to criticize, it's not the Atlanta game and the Will Levis resurrection in Tennessee with the old Oilers uniforms. I'm not saying anything like that. Tannehill's injured, so you're going to see Levis again. But more to the fact that you got, you know, backups are really starting to show their worth and their value. And in some cases, like in this past week, backups were not utilized as they probably should have been. First example, Chiefs, Mahomes, a $500 million man, $500 million. You got this guy's contract for. You got him out there playing in the cold and the high altitude, fucking snow, rain, and shit conditions. For what? A game that really didn't matter. Yeah, it's a division game, but you know what? Undefeated in the division coming into that game with a tiebreaker already. So had you played Gabbert, what would you lose? What would you really lose? I touched on this the other day. I think I did on Facebook. Was Mahomes the best option? Did that give you the best chance of winning the guy with the flu, getting IVs and shit? You're trying to, you know, if your trainer or your doctor or whoever, if you got the flu and they're telling you anything other than what you need to do is rest and drink fluids, eat if you can, the body needs to heal. You can give this guy IVs and artificially try to make him superhuman Mahomes again, but that's just not the way that things work, unfortunately. Sorry. So I think it was a poor decision on whether it be whoever made that decision, even if Mahomes like, hey, I want to play, I'm going in. No, you're not. No, you're not, because I can see the forest past the trees, and you know what? This is one game. We got a big game coming up next week overseas. Take it easy, relax, whatever. You're not playing. That's it. I don't have to worry about him getting the shit beat out of him for 60 minutes, laying on the ground. I mean, it was not that he looked bad, but he wasn't well enough to play. So, what do you expect him to look like? A fucking $1 million out there? And then the second criticism I got, 49ers, Brock Purdy. If there's even a hint, just a little bit of a doubt that, maybe it's in our best interest to have him sit out, put Sam Darnold in, let him play, and why risk if he's got a concussion or coming off of a concussion protocol, it's iffy, questionable, whatever. Why would you throw him right back in there? It boggles me. It boggles me, and I just. I understand it's a production-based industry. Obviously, you can ask Josh McDaniels, Ziegler about that, but to the point where you're sacrificing and putting the game and a win above player and their health and well-being, I don't like that. So it doesn't reflect well, in my opinion, on the way that those two particular situations were handled. The other, what, two more games that we lost out on. I thought Pittsburgh could have pulled it out, but the Jags are a tough team. Pittsburgh is no slouch either. It's a good squad. And I think the other game that got us was Cincinnati. But, you can't win them all. And I'm not trying to, but on paper, and then throwing in variables, i.e., home field advantage, weather conditions, indoor, outdoor, etc. Just there's a lot of things to factor in. It's more than just when they got a better record, they should win. So that's not the way it works. But that's that. It's mind-boggling to me, like I said, how you take two guys, one that's on protocol concussion or just getting off of it, to where that could have really go either way. And the other one with the flu, I'm sure that anybody that's ever had the flu could relate that you feel like shit. I don't care what you take. All you want to do is lay down and sleep. You know what I'm saying? It's not hard to figure out. But listen, not my call. I don't run the team. I'm not a coach. I'm nothing to do it. I'm not affiliated with it in any way. So I'm just saying, it's 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 crazy to me because it doesn't make any sense. It's crazy because it makes that little sense. Let me adjust this a little bit.